Hello everyone, today I'd like to talk to you about Roald Dahl's The Twits. Uh, Roald Dahl, I have to warn you, is a British writer, and so he uses the Queen's English and not American English. So for ESL students who have no familiarity with other kind of English, like pants versus trousers, lifts versus elevators, all that stuff, it can be a little complicated. If you're an adult reader and you're looking for a challenge, Twits is it's a pretty nice story, pretty straightforward. Again, I warn you, it's British English, but other than that, Roald Dahl has a good sense of humor, and this story particularly is a good read for ESL adults. For children, I would probably think it would be too hard. The Twits is a little bit long. It's 76 pages, and some of the ideas are a little unusual. So if you feel your student is a special student who is mature for their age and their reading level is very high, I would say go for it. This would be a challenge, I think. I think this is a good book for adult ESL readers, especially if they're reading it alone. My students, I think, would find this too hard and frustrating, and they would probably give up. But if you have a ferocious reader on your hands, then I would definitely challenge them with this book. I'll give you an example of the writing style. Hairy faces. What a lot of hairy-faced men there are around nowadays. When a man grows hair all over his face, it is impossible to tell what he really looks like. Perhaps that's why he does it. He'd rather you didn't know. Then there's the problem of washing. When the very hairy ones wash their faces, it must be as big a job as when you and I wash the hair on our heads. So, what I want to know is this: how often do all these hairy-faced men wash their faces? Is it only once a week like us on Sunday nights? And do they shampoo it? Do they use a hairdryer? Do they rub hair tonic in it to stop their faces from going bald? Do they go to the barber to have their hairy faces cut and trimmed, or do they do it themselves in front of the bathroom mirror with nail scissors? I don't know. But next time you see a man with a hairy face, which will probably be as soon as you step out onto the street, maybe you will look at him much closer and start wondering about some of these things. As you can hear from the writing, his style is a little bit more difficult, and again, it's a kind of writing style where we don't say everything and we hint at things. So I would say The Twits is a challenge, definitely a challenge. The story is fairly straightforward. It's a couple. This is Mrs. Twit, and they live together and have a small adventure, and kind of has a sad ending, or maybe not. I'm not sure. You'll have to read it and find out.